Anyone would like to chant the prayers?
Prabhu, can I?
Yes, Prabhu.
Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashlakaya Chakshuramitam Yena Tasya Srichaitanyamabhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamayam Dati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapatakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanditam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadvitam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपरेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे विपाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्. Should I read the meaning also, Prabhu, or is that at the end?
Again, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. शृण्वतां स्वकतः कृष्णः पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः हृद्यन्तः स्थोयब्धभद्राणि विद्युनोति सुहृत्सतां नष्टप्रायेष्व भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भागवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी. Before reciting this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Naranarayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, first canto, second chapter, fourth verse. Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, super soul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desires for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, 17th verse. By regular attendance in classes on the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. SB 1.2.18.
Prabhu, thank you so much, Prabhu.
Very well.
So, who would like to read first? Would you like to continue?
Yes, Prabhu, I'll read one verse.
Yes, Prabhu. Very well.
प्राकारो पावनाटालः प्राकारोपावनाटाल परिखैरक्षतोरणैः स्वर्णरौप्यायसैः शृङ्गैः सङ्कुलां सर्वतो गृहैः प्राकर walls उपवन parks अट्टाल towers परिखैः with trenches अक्ष windows तोरणैः with gates स्वर्ण gold रौप्य silver ayasaihi made of iron shringaihi with domes sankulam congested sarvatah everywhere grihaihi with houses. Translation by His Divine Grace Abhajanaranda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. That city was surrounded by walls and parks, and within it were towers, canals, windows, and outlets. The houses there were decorated with domes made of gold, silver, and iron. Purport. The body is protected by walls of skin. The hairs on the body are compared to parks, and the highest parts of the body, like nose and head, are compared to towers. The wrinkles and depressions on different parts of body are compared to trenches or canals. Oh, such deep meaning. The eyes are compared to windows, and the eyelids are compared to the protective gates. The three types of metal, gold, silver, and iron, represent the three modes of material nature. Gold represents goodness, silver, passion, and iron, ignorance. The body is also sometimes considered to be a bag containing three elements, three dhatu, mucus, bile, and air, kapha, pitta, vayu. यस्यात्मा बुद्धि कुणपे त्रिधातुके Bhagavatam 10th canto 84th chapter 13th verse. According to Bhagavatam, one who considers this bag of mucus, bile and air to be the self is considered no better than an cow or an ass. Text 15. Neelasfatika Vaidurya Mukta Marakata क्लिप्तहर्म्यस्थलीं दीप्तां श्रिया भोगवतीम् इव नील sapphires, sphatika, crystal, vaidurya, diamonds, mukta, pearls, marakata, emeralds, arunaihi, with rubies, clip. What is L and dot? Oh, it is Klipta, bedecked. Hermia Sthalim, the floors of the palaces, Deeptam, lustrous, Shriya, with beauty, Bhogavatim, the celestial town named Bhogavati, Eva, like. Translation. The floors of the houses in that city were made of sapphire, crystal, diamonds, pearls, emeralds, and rubies. Because of the luster of the houses in the capital, the city was compared to the celestial town named Bhogavati. Purport. In the city of the body, the heart is considered to be the capital. Just as the capital of the state is especially gorgeously filled with various high buildings and lustrous palaces, the heart of the body is filled with various desires and plans for material enjoyment. Such plans are sometimes compared to valuable jewels such as sapphires, rubies, pearls, and emeralds. The heart becomes the center for all planning for material enjoyment. Text 16. सभाचत्वररथयाभिरक्रीडायातनापणैः चैत्यध्वजपताकाभिर्युक्तां विद्रुमवेदिभिः Sabha, assembly houses, squares, rathyaभिः by streets, आक्रीड आयतन gambling houses, आpanaihi by shops, chaitya resting places, ध्वजपात pataka with flags and festoons, yuktam decorated, vidruma without trees, vedibhi with platforms. Translation. In that city there were many assembly houses, street crossings, streets, restaurants, gambling houses, markets, resting places, flags, festoons, and beautiful parks. All these surrounded the city. Purport. In this way, the capital is described. In the capital, there are assembly houses and many squares, many street crossing, avenue and streets, many gambling places, markets, and places of rest, all decorated with flags and festoons. The squares are surrounded with railings and are devoid of trees. The heart of the body can be compared to the assembly house for the living entities within the heart along the Paramatma as stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto मत्तः स्मृतिर्ज्ञानमपोहनं च वेदैश्च सर्वैरहमेव वेद्यो वेदान्तकृत् वेदविदेव चाहम्. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. Bhagavad Gita, 15 chapter, 15 verse. The Heart is the center of all remembrance, forgetfulness, and deliberation. In the body, the eyes, ears, and nose are different places of attraction for sense enjoyment, and the streets for going hither thither may be compared to different types of air blowing within the body. The yogic process for controlling the air within the body and different nerves is called Sushumna, the path of liberation. The body is also a resting place because when the living entity becomes fatigued, he takes rest within the body. The palms and soles of feet are compared to flags and festoons. Text 17. Puryastu bahyo bhavane दिव्यद्रुम लताकुले नदाद्विहङ्गालिकुल कोलाहलजलाशये पुर्याः of that town. 2. Then Bahya Upavane in an outside garden. Divya, very nice. Druma, trees. Lata, creepers. Akule, filled with nadat, nadat, vibrating. Vihanga, birds. Ali, bees, kula, groups of kolahala, humming, jala ashaye, with a lake. Translation. On the outskirts of that city were many beautiful trees and creepers encircling a nice lake. Also surrounding that lake were many groups of birds and bees that were always chanting and humming. Purport. Since the body is a great city, there must be various arrangements such as lakes and agitated by the sex impulse. As long as one remains a child, he is not agitated by seeing a beautiful woman. Although the sense organs are present, unless the age is ripe, there is no sex impulse. The favorable conditions surrounding the sex impulse, where was I? Are compared here to a garden or a nice solitary park when one sees the opposite sex. Naturally, the sex impulse increases. It is said that in a man in a solitary place does not become agitated upon seeing a woman, he is considered to be a brahmachari. But this practice is almost impossible. The sex impulse is so strong that by even seeing, touching, or talking, coming into contact with, or even thinking of the opposite sex, even in so many subtle ways, one becomes sexually impelled. Consequently, a brahmachari or sannyasi is prohibited to associate with women, especially in secret place. The Shastras enjoin that one should not even talk to a woman in a secret place, even if she happens to be one's daughter, sister, or mother. The sex impulse is so strong that even if one is very learned, he becomes agitated in such some circumstances. If this is the case, how can a young man in a nice park remain calm and quiet after seeing a beautiful young woman? Text 18. Hima nirjhara viprushmat Hima nirjhara viprushmat कुसुमाकरवायुना चलत्प्रवलविटा Nalini Tatasampadi Himanirjhara from the icy mountain waterfall. Viprushmata Viprushmat carrying particles of water. Kushumakara in the springtime. Vayuna by the air. Chalat moving. Pravala branches. Vitapa trees. Nalini Tata on the bank of the lake with lotus flowers. Sampadi opulent. Translation. The branches of the trees standing on the bank of the lake received particles of water carried by the spring air from the falls coming down from the icy mountain. Purport. In this verse, the word Himanirjhara is particularly significant. The waterfall represents a kind of liquid humor or rasa relationship. In the body, there are different kinds of humor, rasa, or mellow. The supreme mellow relationship is called the sexual mellow, adi rasa. When this adi rasa or sex desire comes in contact with the spring air moved by the cupid, it becomes agitated. In other words, all are represented of rupa, rasa, Gandha, Shabda, and Sparsha. The wind is Sparsha or touch. The waterfall is Rasa or taste. The spring air, Kusumakara, the smell. All these varieties of enjoyment make life very pleasing, and thus we become captivated by material existence. Text 19. Hmm. This. Hmm. Branches of trees standing on the bank of lake. Beautiful trees. So, trees. नानारण्यमृगा व्रातैर् अनाबाधे मुनिव्रतैः आहूतं मन्यते पान्थो यत्र कोकिलकूजितैः नाना various aranya on forest mriga animals vrataiः with groups anabadhe in the matter of non-violence munivrataiः like the great sages, ahutam, as if invited, manyate, things, panthah, passenger, yatra, there, kokila, of cuckoos, kujitaha, by the cooing. Translation. In such an atmosphere, even the animals of the forest become non-violent and non-envious like the great sages. Consequently, the animals did not attack anyone. Over and above everything was the cooing of the cuckoos. Any passenger passing along that path was invited by the atmosphere. Wait a minute, by the atmosphere to take rest in that nice garden. Purport. Okay. A peaceful family with wife and children is compared to the peaceful atmosphere of the forest. Children are compared to non-violent animals. Sometimes, however, wives and children are called Swajanakhyadasyu, burglars in name of kinsmen. Man earns his livelihood with hard labor, but the result is that he is plundered by his wife and children, exactly as a person in a forest is attacked by some thieves and burglars who take his money. Nonetheless, in family life, like the turmoil of wife and children appears to be like the cooing of cuckoos in a garden of family life. Being invited by such an atmosphere, the person who is passing through such a blissful life desires to have his family with him at all costs. Yadrichha. What is written? Could you scroll down, Prabhu? The Sanskrit is bit vague. I'm not able to understand. Okay. यदृच्छयागतां तत्र ददृश तदर्श प्रमदोत्तमं तमां भृत्यार्दाशभिर्दाशभिरायान्तीम् एकैकशतनायकैः यादृच्छया all of a sudden without engagement agatam arrived tatra there dadarsha he saw pramada one woman uttamam very beautiful um, could you scroll on Prabhu? Dhrityaihi, surrounded by servants. Dashabhihi, oh, senses, 10 in number. Ayantim, coming forward. Eka, each one of them. Shata, hundreds. Nayakaihi, leaders. Translation. While wandering here and there in that beautiful garden, King Puranjana suddenly came in contact with the very beautiful woman who was walking there without any engagement. She had 10 servants with her, and each servant had hundreds of wives accompanying him. The body has already purport. The body has already been compared to a beautiful garden. During youth, the sense impulse awakened, and the intelligence, according to the imagination, is prone to contact the opposite sex. In a youth, a man or woman is in search of the opposite sex by intelligence or imagination, if not directly. The intelligence influences the mind, and the mind controls the 10 senses. Five of these senses gather the knowledge, and five work directly. Each senses has many desires to be fulfilled. This is the position of the body and the owner of the body, Puranjana, who is within the body. Text 21. पञ्चशीर्षाहिना गुप्तां प्रतिहारेण सर्वतः अन्वेषमाणा अन्वेषमाणां ऋषभम् अप्रौढां कामरूपिणीं. Panch, 5. Shirsha, heads. Ahina, by a snake. Guptam, protected. Pratiharena, by a bodyguard. Sarvatah, all around. Anveshamana. 1 minute.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, I think he has dropped off.
Yes, Prabhu. You can also continue if you are
I
free.
can continue. No problem.
Go.
Yeah.
Can you scroll?
Text. Yeah, I can scroll as well.
Go.
This is
Thank
text 20 or 21. Is it 20 or 21? 21. Next 21. Panchashirsha Guptam Pratiharena Sarvatah Anveshamanam Rishabham Apraudham Kama Rupinim. Synonyms. Pancha, 5. Sirsha, heads. Ahina, by a snake. Guptam, protected. Pratiharina, by a bodyguard. Sarvataha, all around. Anveshananam, one who is searching after. Rishabham, a husband. Apraudham, not very old. Kamarupinanim, very attractive to fulfill lusty desires. Translation purported by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. The woman was protected on all sides by a five-hooded snake. She was very beautiful and young, and she appeared very anxious to find a suitable husband. Purport. The vital force of a living entity includes the 5 kinds of air working within the body, which are known as prana, apana, vyana, samana, and udana. The vital force is compared to a serpent because a serpent can live by simply drinking air. The vital force carried by the air is described as the pratihara or the bodyguard. Without the vital force, one cannot live for a moment. Indeed, all the senses are working under the protection of the vital force. The woman who represents intelligence was searching after a husband. This indicates that intelligence cannot act without consciousness. A beautiful woman is useless unless protected by the proper husband. Intelligence must always be very fresh. Therefore, the word apraudha, very young, is used here. Material enjoyment means utilizing the intelligence for the sake of rupa, rasa, gandha, shabda, and sparsha, or form, taste, smell, sound, and touch. Text 22. Tunasam sudatim balam sukapolam varana nam samavinyasta karnabhyam bibratim kundala sriyam. Synonyms. Tunasam, very beautiful nose. Datim. Datim, very beautiful teeth. Balam, the young woman. Kapolam, nice forehead. Vara, Ananam, very beautiful face. Sama, equally. Vinyasta, arranged. Karnabhyam, both ears. Vibhratim, dazzling, Kundala Sriyam, having beautiful earrings. Translation: the woman's nose, teeth, and forehead were all very beautiful. Her eyes, her ears were equally very beautiful and were bedecked with dazzling earrings. Purport: the body of intelligence enjoys the objects of sense gratification that cover it, such as smell, vision, and hearing. The word "sunasam", beautiful nose, indicates the organ for acquiring knowledge by smell. Similarly, the mouth is the instrument for acquiring knowledge by taste, for by chewing an object and touching it with the tongue, we can understand its taste. The word Sukapol, Sukapolam, nice forehead, indicates a clear brain capable of understanding things as they are. By intelligence, one can set things in order. The earrings set upon the two ears are placed there by the work of the intelligence. Thus, the ways of acquiring knowledge are described metaphorically. Text 23. Krishnagनीवीम सुश्रोणीम श्यामाम कनक मेखलाम पद्भ्याम कोणभ्याम चलन्तीम नूपुरैर्देवताम इव. Synonyms: Pishanga, yellow; Neeveem, garment; Shroneem, beautiful waist; Shyamam, blackish; Kanaka, golden; Mekhalam, belt; Padbhyam, with the feet; Konabhyam, tinkling; Chalantim, walking; Nupuraihi, with ankle bells; Devatam, a denizen of the heavens; Iva, like. Translation: the weight and hips of the woman were very beautiful. She was dressed in a yellow saree with a golden belt. While she walked, her ankle bells rang. She appeared exactly like a denizen of the heavens. Purport: this verse expresses the joyfulness of the mind upon seeing a woman with raised hips and breasts, dressed in an attractive saree and bedecked with ornaments. Text 24. Stano Vyanjita कैशोरौ समवृत्तौ निरन्तरौ वस्त्रान्तेन निगूहन्तीं व्रीडया गजगामिनीं. Synonyms: stanau, breasts; Vyanjita, indicating; Kaishorau, new youth; Samavruttau, equally round; Nirantarau, fixed close, side by side. Vastra Antena, by the end of the saree; Niguhantim, trying to cover; Vredaya, out of shyness; Gaja Gaminim, walking just like a great elephant. Translation: with the end of her saree, the woman was trying to cover her breasts, which were equally round and well placed side by side. She again and again tried to cover them out of shyness while she walked exactly like a great elephant. Purport: the two breasts represent attachment and envy. Oh, great representation. Attachment and envy. The symptoms of raga and dvesha. Attachment and envy. As described in the Bhagavad Gita, Indriya Indriyasyendriyate Indriyarte Ragadvesho Vyavastitau Tayorna Vyasham Agachet Tau Yasya Paripanthi. Now, attraction and repulsion for sense objects are felt by embodied beings, but one should not fall under the control of senses and sense objects because they are stumbling blocks on the path of self realization. Bhagavad Gita 3:34. These representatives of attachment and envy are very much unfavorable for advancement in spiritual life. One should not be attracted by the breasts of young women. The great saint Shankaracharya, yes, I was able to mention this as well. The great saint Shankaracharya has described the breasts of women, especially young women, as nothing but a combination of muscles and blood. So, one should not be attracted by the illusory energy of raised breasts with nipples. They are agents of Maya meant to victimize the opposite sex. Because the breasts are equally attractive, they are described as samavrittau. The sex impulse remains in an old man's heart also, even up to the point of death. To be, ri- to be rid of such agitation, one must be very much advanced in spiritual consciousness, like Yamunacharya, who said, Yadavidhi mama chetah Krishna padaravinde navanavarasa dhyama dhya dhaman yudyatam rantum asit tadavadhi tadavadhi बत नारी संगमे समर्यमाणे भवति मुख विका विकारः सुष्टु निष्ठीवनं च. Since I have been engaged in the transcendental loving service of Krishna, releasing ever new pleasure in him, whenever I think of sex pleasure, I spit at the thought and my lips curl with distaste. Where was this verse? Where is this verse mentioned, Prabhu? Yamunacharya, who said that? In which book? Is it in Chaitanya Charitamrita? I'm not sure. I'll have to check it out. Not a problem. When one is spiritually advanced, he can no longer be attracted by the lumps of flesh and blood, which are the breasts of young women. The word Nirantara is significant because although the words are situated in different locations, the act is the same. We should not make any distinction between attachment and envy. As described in the Bhagavad Gita, they are both products of Rajoguna. Sri Bhagavan Vacha Kamayesha Krodayesha Rajoguna Samudbhavaha Mahashano Mahapapma Vidhyenam Iva Vairinam. The Blessed Lord said, it is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material modes of passion and later transformed into wrath, and which is the all devouring, sinful enemy of this world. Bhagavad Gita 3:37. The word Niguhan theme, trying to cover, indicates that even if one is tainted by kama, lobha, krodha, etc., they can be transfigured by Krishna consciousness. In other words, one can utilize kama, lust, for serving Krishna. Being impelled by lust, an ordinary worker will work hard day and night. Similarly, a devotee can work hard day and night to satisfy Krishna. Just as karmis are working hard to satisfy kama krodha, a devotee should work in the same way to satisfy Krishna. Similarly, krodha anger can also be used in the service of Krishna when it is applied to the non-devotee demons. Hanumanji applied his anger in this way. He was a great devotee of Lord Ramachandra and he utilized his anger to set fire to the kingdom of Ravana, a non-devotee demon. Thus, kama lust can be utilized to satisfy Krishna and krodha anger can be utilized to punish the demons. When both are used for Krishna's service, they lose their material significance and become spiritually important. Text 25. तामाह ललितं वीरः सव्रीड स्मित शोभनां स्निग्धानापांग पुंके पुंखेन पृष्टः प्रेमोद्भ्रमाद् भ्रुवा synonym satam unto her. Aha addressed Lalitam very gently. Veeraha, the hero, sa Vrida, with shyness. Smita, smiling. Shobhanam, very beautiful. Snigdhena, by sex desire. Apanga, Punkhena, by the array of glancing. Sprishtaha, thus pierced. Prema, Udbrahmat, exciting love. Bhruva, by the eyebrows. Translation. Puranjana, the hero, became attracted by the eyebrows and smiling face of the very beautiful girl and was immediately pierced by the arrows of her lusty desires. When she smiled shyly, she looked very beautiful to Puranjana, who, although a hero, could not refrain from addressing her. Purport. Every living entity is a hero in two ways. When he is a victim of the illusory energy, he works as a great hero in the material world, as a great leader, politician, businessman, industrialist, etc. And his heroic activities contribute to the material advancement of civilization. One can also become a hero by being master of the senses, a Goswami. Material activities are false heroic activities, whereas restraining the senses from material engagement is great heroism. However great a hero one may be in the material world, he can be immediately conquered by the lumps of flesh and blood known as the breasts of women. In the history of material activities, there are many examples like the Roman hero Antony, who became captivated by the beauty of Cleopatra. Similarly, a great hero in India named Bajirao became a victim of women during the time of Maharashtrian politics and he was defeated. From this story, we understand that formerly politicians used to employ beautiful girls who were trained as Vishakanya. These girls had poison infected into their bodies from the beginning of their lives so that in due course of time they would become so immune to the poison and so poisonous themselves that simply by kissing a person they could kill him. Thus, these poisonous girls were engaged to see an enemy and kill him with a kiss. Thus, there are many instances in human history of heroes who have been curbed simply by women. Being part and parcel of Krishna, the living entity is certainly a great hero, but due to his own weakness, he becomes attracted to the material features. Krishna Bahirmukha Hana Bhogavancha Kare Nikatastha Maya Tare Japatiya Dhare. It is said in the Prema Vivarta that when a living entity wants to enjoy material nature, he is immediately victimized by the material energy. A living entity is not forced to come into the material world. He makes his own choice, being attracted by beautiful women. Every living entity has the freedom to be attracted by material nature or to stand as a hero and resist that attraction. It is simply a question of the living entities being attracted or not being attracted. There is no question of his being forced to come into contact with material energy. One who can keep himself steady and resist the attraction of material nature is certainly a hero and deserves to be called a Goswami. Unless one is master of the senses, he cannot become a Goswami. The living entity can take one of the two positions in this world. He may become a servant of his senses or he may become master of his senses. By becoming a servant of the senses, one becomes a great material hero, and by becoming master of the senses, he becomes a Goswami or a spiritual hero. Text 26. Katvam kanja palashakshi kasyashiha kutah sati imam upa purim bhiru kim chikirshasi tamas me samsme. Synonyms: ka, who, tvam, you, kanjapalasha, kanjapalasha, like the petals of the lotus, akshi, ice, kasya, whose, asi, you are, iha, here, kutaha, where from, sati, oh chaste one, imam, this, upa, near, purim, city, bhiru, oh timid one, kim, what, chikirshasi, you are trying to do, samsa, kindly explain, may, unto me. Translation: my dear lotus-eyed, kindly explain to me where you are coming from, who you are, and whose daughter you are. You appear very chaste. What is the purpose of your coming here? What are you trying to do? Please explain all these things to me. Purport: the first aphorism in the Vedanta Sutra is Atato Brahma Jignasa. In the human form of life, one should put many questions to himself and to his intelligence. In the various forms of life, lower than human life, the intelligence does not go beyond the range of life's primary necessities, namely eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Dogs, cats, and tigers are always busy trying to find something to eat or a place to sleep, trying to defend and have sexual intercourse successfully. In the human form of life, however, one should be intelligent enough to ask what he is, why he has come into the world, what his duty is, who is the supreme controller, and what is the difference between dull matter and the living entity, etc. There are so many questions, and the person who is actually intelligent should simply inquire about the supreme source of everything. Atato Brahma Jnasa. A living entity is always connected with a certain amount of intelligence. But in the human form of life, the living entity must inquire about his spiritual identity. This is real human intelligence. It is said that one who is simply conscious of the body is no better than an animal, even though he be in the human form. In the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna says, Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto mattasmriti jnanam apohanam cha Vedaischa sarvairahamev vedyo Vedanta krud vedavideva chaham. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas am I to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. Bhagavad Gita 15:15. In the animal form of the living entity is completely forgetful of his relationship with God. This is called apoharam or forgetfulness. In the human form of life, however, consciousness is more greatly developed, and consequently, the human being has a chance to understand his relationship with God. In the human form, one should utilize his intelligence by asking all these questions, just as Puranjana, the living entity, is asking the unknown girl where she has come from, where what her business is, why he is present, why she is present, etc. These are inquiries about Atma Tattva, self-realization. The conclusion is that unless a living entity is inquisitive about self-realization, he is nothing but an animal. Next 27. Kayetenupathayeta kadasha maha bataha etava lalanaha subhru koyam te hin koyam tehi purah saraha. Synonyms: K, who, Yete, all these, Anupataha, followers, Ye, they, who, Te, your, Ekadasha, 11, Maha Bataha, very powerful bodyguards. Etaha, all of these. Va, also. Lalanaha, women. Subhru, oh beautiful eyed one. Kaha, who? I am. This, te, your. Ahihi, the snake. Puraha, in front. Saraha, going. Translation, my dear lotus eyed. Who are those 11 strong bodyguards with you? And who are those 10 specific servants? Who are those women following the 10 servants? And who is the snake that is preceding you? Purport: the 10 strong servants of the mind are the 5 working senses and the 5 knowledge gathering senses. Karmendriya and Jnanendriya. All these 10 senses work under the aegis of the mind. The mind and the 10 senses combine to become 11 strong bodyguards. The hundreds of women under the jurisdiction of the senses are addressed here as Lalanah. The mind works under the intelligence, and under the mind are the 10 senses. And under the 10 senses are innumerable desires to be fulfilled. All these, however, depend on the vital life force, which is here represented by the snake. As long as the vital life force is there, the mind works, and under the mind, the senses work, and the senses give rise to so many material desires. Actually, the living entity known as Purangina is embraced by so much paraphernalia. All this paraphernalia simply constitutes different sources of anxiety, but one who is surrendered unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who leaves all business to him, is freed from such anxieties. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj advises a person who has taken to the materialistic way of life, which is never permanent but always temporary, to take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and leave aside all his so called responsibilities in order to get free from all anxieties. Text 28. From Hirbhavan Yasya Atha Vagrama Patim Pichinvati Kim Munivad Raho Vane Tad Angri Kamapta Samasta Kaman Kwa Padma Kosha Patitah Karagrat. Synonyms: Tvam, you. Hrihi, shyness. Bhavani, the wife of Lord Shiva. Asi, or Atha, rather, walk. Saraswati, the goddess of learning. Rama, the goddess of fortune. Patim, husband. Virinvati, searching. Vichinvati, searching after, thinking of. Kim, or you. Munivat, like a sage. Rahaha, in this lonely place. Vane, in the forest. Tvat angri, your feet. Kama, desiring. Apta, achieved. Samasta, all. Kamam, desirable things. Kwa, where is. Padmakosha, the lotus flower. Patitaha, fallen. Kara, of the hand. Agrat, from the front portion or palm. Translation: my dear beautiful girl, you are exactly like the goddess of fortune, or the wife of Lord Shiva, or the goddess of learning, the wife of Lord Brahma. Although you must be one of them, I see that you are loitering in this forest. Indeed, you are as silent as the great sages. Is it that you are searching after your own husband? Whoever your husband may be, simply by understanding that you are so faithful to him, he will come to possess all opulences. I think you must be the goddess of fortune, but I do not see the lotus flower in your and therefore I am asking you where you have thrown that lotus. Purport. Everyone thinks that his intelligence is perfect. Sometimes one employs his intelligence in the worship of Uma, the wife of Lord Shiva, in order to obtain a beautiful wife. Sometimes, when one wants to become as learned as Lord Brahma, he employs his intelligence in the worship of the goddess of learning, Saraswati. Sometimes, when one wishes to become as opulent as Lord Vishnu, he worships the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi. In this verse, all these inquiries are made by King Puranjana, the living entity who is bewildered and does not know how to employ his intelligence. Intelligence should be employed in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As soon as one uses his intelligence in this way, the goddess of fortune automatically becomes favorable to him. The goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, never remains without her husband, Lord Vishnu. Consequently, when one worships Lord Vishnu, he automatically obtains the favor of the goddess of fortune. One should not, like Ravana, worship the goddess of fortune alone, for he cannot remain long without her husband. Thus, her other name is Chanchala or restless. In this verse, it is clear that Puranjana is representing our intelligence, which while he is talking with the girl, he not only appreciated the shyness of the girl, but he actually became more and more attracted by by that shyness. He was actually thinking of becoming her husband and consequently was asking her whether she was thinking of her prospective husband or whether she was married. This is an example of bhoga ichha, the desire for enjoyment. One who is attracted by such desires becomes conditioned in this material world, and one who is not so attracted attains liberation. King Puranjana was appreciating the beauty of the girl as if she were the goddess of fortune, but at the same time, he was careful to understand that the goddess of fortune cannot be enjoyed by anyone except Lord Vishnu. Since he doubted whether the girl was the goddess of fortune, he inquired about the lotus flower she was not holding. The material world is also the goddess of fortune because the material energy works under the direction of Lord Vishnu, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita. मयाध्यक्षेण प्रकृतिः सूयते सचराचरम् हेतुनानेन कौन्तेय जगत् विपरिवर्तते. This material nature is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, and it is producing all moving and unmoving beings. By its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. Bhagavad Gita 9:10. The material world cannot be enjoyed by any living entity. If one so desires to enjoy it, he immediately becomes a demon like Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, or Kamsa. Because Ravana wanted to enjoy the goddess of fortune, Sita Devi, he was vanquished with all his family, wealth, and opulence. One can, however, enjoy the Maya bestowed upon the living entity by Lord Vishnu. The satisfaction of one's senses and desires means enjoying Maya, not the goddess of fortune. Text 29. नासां नासां वरोर वन्यतमा भुवि स्पृक् पुरीम् इमां वीरवरेण साकम् अर्हस्य अलङ्कर्तुम् अदभ्रकर्मणा लोकं परं श्रीरिव यज्ञपुंसा. Synonyms: not
Hare Krishna.
asam of.
So sorry to interrupt, but is there a verse regarding the 10 senses?
Parmendriya and Jnanendriya. I don't think so. See, this is the natural description of the body uh, containing all these elements, all these five senses. Okay, I am not sure, but anyhow, I will double check and get back to you.
Okay, bro.
So let's move on. Synonyms: not, asam of these, Vororu, O most fortune one, Anyatama, anyone, Bhuvisprik, touching the ground, Purim, city, Imam, this, Viravarena, the great hero, Sakam, along with Arhasi, you deserve, Alankartum, to decorate, Adabra, glorious, Karmana, whose activities, Lokam, world, Param, transcendental, Srihi, the goddess of fortune, Iva, like Yajnapumsa, with the enjoyer of all Yajnas. Translation: O greatly fortunate one, it appears that you are none of the women I have mentioned, because I see that your feet are touching the ground. But if you are if you are some woman of this planet, you can, like the goddess of fortune, who accompanied with Lord Vishnu, increase the beauty of the Vaikuntha planets, also increase the beauty of this city by associating with me. You should understand that I am a great hero and a very powerful king on this planet. Purport: this is a difference between demonic mentality and devotional mentality. Devotees know perfectly well that the goddess of fortune, who is the constant companion of Vishnu or Narayana, cannot be enjoyed by a living entity. This higher sense of understanding is called Krishna consciousness. Nonetheless, everyone wants to become happy by imitating the prosperity of Narayana. In this verse, Puranjana states that the girl appears to be an ordinary woman. However, since he is attracted by her, he requests that she become as happy as the goddess of fortune by associating with him. Thus, he introduced himself as a great king with great influence so that he might accept him as her husband and be as happy as the goddess of fortune. To desire to enjoy this material world as a subordinate of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is godly. I repeat, to desire to enjoy this material world as a subordinate of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is godly. The demons, however, want to enjoy this material world without considering the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the difference between a demon and a demigod. The word Bhuvispruk mentioned in this verse is very significant. When the demigods sometimes come to this planet, they do not touch the ground. Puranjana could understand that this girl did not belong to the transcendental world or the higher planetary system because her feet were touching the ground. Since every woman in this world wants her husband to be very influential, rich, and powerful, Puranjana, to seduce the girl, introduced himself as such a personality. In the material world, whether one be a man or a woman, one wants to enjoy. A man wants to enjoy a beautiful woman, and a woman wants to enjoy a powerful, opulent man. Every living entity who possesses such material desires is called Purusha, an enjoyer. So, superficially, it appears that the woman is the enjoyed and the man is the enjoyer, but internally, everyone is an enjoyer. Consequently, everything in this world, in this material world, is called Maya. Text 30. यदेश मापंग विखंडितेन्द्रियम् सव्रीड भावस्मित विभ्रमद् भ्रुवा त्वयोपसृष्टो भगवान् मनोभवः प्रभा प्रभा दथे तानुगृहाण शोभने synonyms yet because Eshaha, this ma, me, apanga, by your glances, vikhandita, agitated, indriyam, whose senses are mind, sa, vrida, with shyness, bhava, affection, smita, smiling, vibhramat, bewildering, Bhruva, with eyebrows, Vaya, by you, Upashritaha, being influenced, Bhagavan, the most powerful, Manah Bhavaha, Cupid. prabhadhate is harassing. Atha, therefore, anugrihana, be merciful, shobhate, oh, very beautiful one. Translation. Certainly, your glancing upon me today has very much agitated my mind. Your smile, which is full of shyness, but at the same time lusty, is agitating the most powerful Cupid within me. Therefore, oh, most beautiful, I ask you to be merciful upon me. Purport. Everyone has lusty desires within, and as soon as one is agitated by the movement of a beautiful woman's eyebrows, the Cupid within immediately throws his arrow at the heart. Thus, one is quickly conquered by the eyebrows of a beautiful woman. When one is agitated by lusty desires, his senses are attracted by all kinds of Vishaya, enjoyable things like sound, touch, form, smell, and taste. These attractive sense objects oblige one to come under the control of a woman. In this way, the conditional life of a living entity begins. Conditional life means being under the control of a woman, and certainly the living entity is always at the mercy of a woman or a man. Thus, living entities live in bondage to one another, and thus they continue this conditional material life illusioned by Maya. Text 31. Swadananam Subhru Sutaralocanam Vyalambhi Neelalaka Vrinda Samvritam Unniyame Darshaya Valgu Vachakam Yad Vridaya Nabhimukham Suchi Smite. Synonyms. Tvat, your. Ananam, face. Subhru, having nice eyebrows. Sutara, with nice pupils. Lochanam, eyes. Vyalambi, scattered. Neela, bluish. Alang, Alaka Vrinda, by locks of hair. Samvritam, surrounded. Unniya, having raised. Me, unto me. Darshaya, show. Valgu Vachakam, having words very sweet to hear, yet which face. Vredaya, by shyness. Not. Abhimukham, face to face. Suchismite, oh woman with lovely smiles. Translation. My dear girl, your face is so beautiful with your nice eyebrows and eyes, and with your bluish hair scattered about. In addition, very sweet sounds are coming from your mouth. Nonetheless, you are so covered with shyness that you do not see me face to face. I therefore request you, my dear girl, to smile and kindly raise your head to see me. Purport. Such a speech is typical of a living entity attracted by the opposite sex. This is called bewilderment occasioned by becoming conditioned by material nature. When thus attracted by the beauty of the material energy, one becomes very eager to enjoy. This is elaborately described in this instance of Puranjana's becoming attracted by the beautiful woman. In conditioned life, the living entity is attracted by a face, eyebrows, or eyes, a voice, or anything. In short, everything becomes attractive. When a man or a woman is attracted by the opposite sex, it doesn't matter whether the opposite sex is beautiful or not. The lover sees everything beautiful in the face of the beloved and thus becomes attracted. This attraction causes the living entity to fall down in this material world. This is described in the Bhagavad Gita. Icha Dveshe मुथे समुत्थेन द्वन्द्वमोहेन भारत सर्वभूतानि सम्मोहं सर्गे यान्ति परन्तप. O signs of ocean of Bharata, Arjuna, O conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion, overcome by the dualities of desire and hate. Bhagavad Gita 7:27. This condition of life is called avidya. Opposite to this avidya is real knowledge, vidya. Sri Ishopanishad distinguishes between vidya and avidya, knowledge and ignorance. By avidya, ignorance, one becomes conditioned, and by vidya, knowledge, one becomes liberated. Puranjana admits herein that he is attracted by avidya. Now, he wishes to see the complete feature of avidya, and so requests the girl to raise her head so that he can see her face to face. He thus wishes to see the various features that make avidya attractive. Text 32. Narada Uvacha Itham Puranjanam Nari Yachamanam Adhiravat Abhyarandata Tam Veeram Asanti Veera Mohita. Synonyms. Narada Uvacha. The great sage Narada continued to speak Itham upon this Puranjanam unto Puranjana Nari, the woman, Yachamanam, begging, Adhiravat, being too impatient, Abhyanandata, she addressed Tam, him, Veeram, the hero, Asanti, smiling, Veera, oh here, Mohita, being attracted by him. Translation. Narada continued, my dear king, when Puranjana became so attracted and impatient to touch the girl and enjoy her, the girl also became attracted by his words and accepted his request by smiling. By this time, she was certainly attracted by the king. Purport. By this incident, we can understand that when a man is aggressive and begins to woo a woman, the woman becomes attracted to the man. This process is described in the Bhagavatam as Pumsah Striya Mithuni Bhavam Etam. Bhagavatam 558. This attraction is enacted on the platform of sexual life. Thus, the sex impulse is the platform of material engagement. This conditional life, the platform of material sense enjoyment, is the cause of forgetfulness of spiritual life. In this way, a living entity's original Krishna consciousness becomes covered or converted into material consciousness. Thus, one engages in the business of sense gratification. Text 33. Navidam Nayam Samyak Kartaram Purusharshabha Atmascha Parasyapi Gotram Namacha Yatkritam. Synonyms. Na, do not. Vidam, no. Vayam, I. In fact, Vayam should be we, not I. Samyak, perfectly. Kartaram, maker. Purusha Rishabha, oh great, oh best of human beings. Atmanaha, of myself. Cha, and Parasya, of others. Api, also. Gotram, family, history. Nama, name. Cha, and Yatkritam, which has been made by whom. Translation. The girl said, O best of human beings, I do not know who has begotten me. I cannot speak to you perfectly about this, nor do I know the names or the origin of the associates with me. Purport. The living entity is ignorant of his origin. He does not know why this material world was created, why others are working in this material world, and what the ultimate source of this manifestation is. No one knows the answers to these questions, and this is called ignorance. By researching into the origin of life, important scientists are finding some chemical compositions or cellular combinations, but actually no one knows the original source of life within the material world. The phrase Brahma Jignasa is used to indicate an inquisitiveness to know the original source of our existence in this material world. No philosopher, scientist, or politician actually knows where from we have come, why we are here struggling so hard for existence, and where we will go. Generally, people are of the opinion that we are all here accidentally, and that as soon as these bodies are finished, all our dramatic activities will be finished and we will become zero. Such scientists and philosophers are impersonalists and voidists. In this verse, the girl is expressing the actual position of the living entity. She cannot tell Puranjana her father's name because she does not know from where she has come, nor does she know why she is present in that place. She frankly said that she did not know anything about all this. This is the position of the living entity in the material world. There are so many scientists, philosophers, and big leaders, but they do not know where from they have come, nor do they know why they are busy within this material world to obtain a position of so called happiness. In this material world, we have many nice facilities for living, but we are so foolish that we do not ask who has made this material habitable for us, who has made this world habitable for us and has arranged it so nicely. Everything is functioning in order, but people foolishly think that they are produced by chance in this material world and that after death they will become zero. They think that this beautiful place of habitation will automatically remain. Text 34. Ihadya santam atmanam vidamana tatah param yeneyam nirmita vira puri sharanam atmanah. Synonyms. Here adya today. Santam existing, atmanam living entities, vidama that much we know, not tatah param beyond that yene by whom yam this nirmita created Veera, O great hero, Puri city, Sharanam resting place, Atmanaha of all living entities. Translation, O great hero. We only know that we are existing in this place. We do not know what will come after. Indeed, we are so foolish that we do not care to understand who has created this beautiful place for our residence. Purport. This lack of Krishna consciousness is called ignorance. In Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, it is called Parabhavas Tvavad Adodha Jataha. Abodha Jataha. Bhagavatam 555. Everyone is born ignorant. The Bhagavatam therefore says that we are all born ignorant within this material world. In our ignorance, we may create nationalism, philanthropy, internationalism, science, philosophy, and so many other things. The basic principle behind all these is ignorance. What then is the value of all this advancement of knowledge if the basic principle is ignorance? Unless a person comes to Krishna consciousness, all of his activities are defeated. This human form of life is especially meant to dissipate ignorance, but without understanding how to dissipate ignorance, people are planning and building many things. After death, however, all of this is finished.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances of Lord Krishna Prabhupada. Can I please read Prabhu?
Krishna Prabhu Dandar Pram Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
When Prabhu wants to change, then you can read.
Sorry, Prabhu.
Yeah, no, yeah, you can read, bro. No problem. Thank you.
Okay, Prabhu. Because I know you usually read when no one reads, Prabhu. That's why I ask you.
Please
Okay,
continue.
text 35. Ete sakaya sakyo me narayascha mana da subtayam mai jagarti nagoyam palayan purim. Synonyms: ete, all these. Sakaya, male friends. Sakyaha, female associates. Me, my. Naraha, men. Naryaha, woman. Cha and Manada, oh very respectful, oh very respectful one. Suptayam, while sleeping. Mai, I am. Jagarti, keeps awake. Nagaha, snake. I am. This. Pala, Palayan, Palayan protecting Purim, this city. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. My dear gentlemen, all these men and women with me are known as my friends, and the snake who always remains awake protects this city even during my sleeping hours. So much I know, I do not know anything beyond this. Okay, purport. Puranjana inquired from the woman about those 11 men and their wives, as well as the snake. The woman gave a brief description of them. She was obviously without full knowledge of her surrounding men and women and the snake. As stated before, the snake is the vital force of the living being. Vital force. It's like Kundalini. This vital force always remains awake, even when the body and the senses become fatigued and do not work. Even in the state of unconsciousness, when we sleep, the snake of the life force remains intact and awake constantly. Consequently, we dream when we sleep. When the living entity gives up this material body, the vital force still remains intact and is carried to another material body. That is called transmigration or change of the body. And we have come to this process as death. Actually, there is no death. The vital force always exists with the soul. And when the soul is awakened from so-called sleep, he can see his 11 his 11 friends, or the active senses and their mind with their various desires, wives. The vital life force remains. Even during our sleep hours, we can understand by virtue of our breathing process that the snake lives by eating the air that passes within this body. Air is exhibited in the form of breathing, and as long as breath is there, one can go down, Prabhu. One can understand that a sleeping man is alive. Thus, even when the gross body is asleep, the vital force remains active and alive to protect the body. Thus, the snake is described as living and eating air to keep the body fit for life. Text 36. Dishtaya gato shi badramte gramyan kaman abi pasase udvahi shayami udvaha ishyami tamas tamste ham swabandubihi swabandubi arindama arindama. Synonyms: Dishtya, fortunately for me, agataha, asi, you have come here. Badram, all auspiciousness, there unto you. Gramyan, sensual. Kaman, desired, enjoyable objects. Abipasase, you want to enjoy. Udvahishyami, I shall supply. Done, all of them, there unto you. Aham, I, Swabandhu, be, with all my friends. Arindama, O kill of the enemy. Translation. O killer, O killer of the enemy, you have somehow or other come here. This is certainly great fortune for me. I wish all auspicious things for you. You have a great desire to satisfy your senses. And all my friends and I shall try our best in all respects to fulfill your desires. Purport: the living entity comes down into this material world for sense gratification, and his intelligence, represented by the woman, gives him the proper direction by which he can satisfy his senses to their best capacity. In actuality, however, intelligence comes from the super soul or the supreme personality of Godhead, and he gives full facility to the living entity who has come down to this material world. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Vyavasa yat atmika buddhi ekeha kuru nandana bahu shakka he anantascha budayo vyavasa inam. Those who are on this path are resolute in purpose, and the aim is one. O beloved child of the Gurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute irresolute is many branched. Bhagavad Gita 2.41. When a devotee is advancing towards spiritual realization, his only aim is the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He does not care for any other material or spiritual activity. King Puranjana represents the ordinary living entity, and the woman represents the ordinary living entity's intelligence. Combined, the living entity enjoys his material senses, and the intelligence supplies all paraphernalia for his enjoyment. As soon as he enters the human form, the living entity is entrapped by a family tradition, nationality, customs, etc. These are all supplied by the Maya of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, the living entity, under the bodily conception of life, utilizes his intelligence to his best capacity in order to satisfy his senses. Yeah, remember chapter 13 about the enjoyer. It speaks about such similar thing. Text 37. Imam Twam Aditish Dasva Purim Nava Mukim Vibo Mayo Panitan Grahanaha, something like that. Semi probably will help. Kama Bogan Shatam Samaha. Kaman Bogan Shatam Samaha. Okay, synonyms. Imam, there's Twam, your good self. Aditish Daswa, just remain. Purim, in the city. Navamukim, with 9 gates. Vibo, oh my Lord. Maya, by me. Upa Nitan, arranged. Granana. Semi Prabhu, how do you pronounce that word? Granana. Or Pravin Prabhu. Grananaha. Is it Granan? Sorry, Prabhu.
Grinhanaha.
Grananaha.
Hmm.
Like that. Grananaha.
Yeah.
Quite difficult. Grananaha. Taking Kama Bogan. The materials. Sorry. Materials for sense gratification. Shatam, 100. Sama, years. Translation. My dear Lord, I have just arranged this city of 9 gates for you so that you can have all kinds of sense gratification. You may live here for 100 years and everything for your sense gratification will be supplied. Purport: Dharmartha kama mokshanam dara samprapti hetavaha. The wife is the cause of all kinds of success in religion. Yeah? The wife is the cause of all kinds of success in religion, economic development, sense gratification, and ultimately salvation. It's basically almost everything. When one accepts a wife, it is to be understood that he is being helped in his progressive march towards liberation. In the beginning of life, a person is trained as a brahmachari and is then allowed to marry a suitable girl and become a householder. If one is thoroughly trained in household life, He finds all facilities for human life, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Everything is there if it is executed according to regulative principles. Text 38. Text 38. Kam nu twad anyam ramaye. Hey arati gyanam ako vidam. Asampara ya bimukam. Asvatana vidam pashum. Prabhu Rushikesh Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu, sir. Precious and valuable association. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhishcha kripasindhubhyo patitanam pavanebhyo Vishnubhyo namo namo.
Haribo. Synonyms: come, unto whom, nu, then, twat, then, yourself, anyam, other, ramaye, I shall allow to enjoy, he certainly, arati, gyanam, gyam, not gyanam, is it gyam? Without knowledge of sex enjoyment, ago vidam, therefore almost foolish, asam paraya, without knowledge of the next life, abi mukam, looking forward, ashvastana vidam, one who does not know what is happening next, pashum, like animals. Translation: how can I expect to unite with others who are neither conversant about sex nor capable of knowing how to enjoy life while living or after death? While living or after death. Such foolish persons are like animals because they do not know the process of sense enjoyment in this life and after death. Purport: since there are 8.4 million species of life, there are also many different living conditions in the lower grades of life. In plant and trees life, there is no system for sexual intercourse. In the upper grades, in the life of birds and bees, there is sex, but the insects and animals do not know how to actually enjoy sex life. In the human form of life, however, there is full knowledge of how to enjoy sex. Indeed, there are many so-called philosophers who give directions on how to enjoy sex life. There is even a science called Kama Shastra, which is the science of sex. In human life, there are also such divisions as brahmacharya, grahastha, vanaprastha, and sannyasa. Sannyasa. There is no sex life except in the grahastha or householder ashram. The brahmachari is not allowed any sex. A vanaprastha voluntarily refrains from sex, and the sannyasi is completely renounced. The karmis do not practice brahmacharya, vanaprastha, or sannyasa life, for they are very much interested in grahastha life. In other words, a human being is very much materially inclined. Indeed, all living entities are materially inclined. They prefer grahastha life because there is they prefer grahastha life because there is concession for sex. The kamis think the other statuses of life are worse than animal life, for animals also have sex, whereas the brahmachari, vanaprastha, and sannyasi completely give up sex. The karmis therefore abhor these others of spiritual life.
One more, Prabhu, or maybe two.
Okay, Prabhu. Dharmo he atraratha kamaucha prajanando mritam yashaha loka vishoka viraja yanna kevali no vidu. Synonyms: dharmaha, the religious ritual. He certainly, atra, here in this grihastha ashram or householder life. Artha, economic development. Kamau, sense gratification. Cha and praja nandaha, the pleasure of generations. Amritam, the results of sacrifice. Yashaha, reputation. Lokaha, planetary system. Vishokaha, without lamentation, Vrajaha without disease, Yan Vishna never Kivalinaha, the transcendentalist Vidu no. Translation: the woman continued, in this material world, a householder's life brings all kinds of happiness in religion, economic development, sense gratification, and in the begetting of children, sons and grandsons. After that, one may desire liberation as well as material reputation. The householder can appreciate the results of sacrifice, which enables him to gain promotion to superior planetary systems. All this material happiness is practically unknown to the transcendentalist. They cannot even imagine such happiness. Purport: according to Vedic instructions, there are two paths for human activities. One is called Pravritti Marga, and the other is called Nirvirti Marga. The basic principles for either of these paths is religious life. In animal life, there is only Pravritti Marga. Pravritti Marga means sense enjoyment, and Nirviti Marga means spiritual advancement. In the life of animals and demons, there is no conception of Nirviti Marga, nor is there any actual conception of Pravritti Marga. Pravritti Marga maintains that even though one has the propensity for sense gratification, he can gratify his senses according to the directions of the Vedic injunctions. For example, everyone has the propensity for sex life, but in demoniac civilization, sex is enjoyed without restriction. According to Vedic culture, sex is enjoyed under Vedic instructions. Thus, the Vedas give direction to civilized human beings to enable them to satisfy their propensities for sense gratification. In the Nivritti Marga, however, on the path of transcendental realization, sex is completely forbidden. The social orders are divided into four parts: Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. And only in the householder life can the Pravritti Marga be encouraged or accepted according to Vedic instructions. In the orders of Brahmacharya, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa, there are no facilities for sex. In this verse, the woman is advocating Pravritti Marga only and is discouraging the path of Nirviti Marga. She clearly says that the Yatis, the transcendentalists who are concerned only with spiritual life, Kaivalya, cannot imagine the happiness of Pravritti Marga. In other words, the man who follows the Vedic principles enjoys the materialistic way of life, not only by becoming happy in this life, but also in the next life by being promoted to the heavenly planets. In this life, such a person gets all kinds of material opulences, such as sons and grandsons, because he is always engaged in various religious functions. The material distresses are birth, old age, disease, and death. But those who are interested in Pravritti Marga hold various religious functions at the time of birth, old age, disease, and death without caring for the distresses of birth, old age, disease, and death. They are addicted to performing their special functions according to the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies. Factually, however, Pravritti Marga is based on sex life as stated in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Yanma itu nandi grahamedi sukam hi tucham. Bhagavatam 7.9.45. A householder who is too much addicted to Pravritti Marga is actually called a Grahamedi, not a Grahasta. Although the Grahasta desires sense gratification, he acts according to the Vedic instructions. The Grahamedi, however, who is interested only in sense gratification, does not follow any Vedic instructions. The Grahamedi engages himself as an advocate of sex life and also allows his son and daughters to engage in sex and to be deprived in the next. But a Grahamedi does not know what the next life is about because he is simply interested in sex in this life. On the whole, when one is too much inclined towards sex, he does not care for the transcendental spiritual life. In this age of Kali, especially, no one is interested in spiritual advancement. Even though it is sometimes found that one may be interested in spiritual advancement, he is most likely to accept a bogus method of spiritual life. being misguided by so many pretenders.
Okay, one
Text
more.
4. Yes, bro.
Three.
Women are the households. Prati devarishi martayanam bhutanam atmanaschaham chaha kshemyam vadanti sharanam bhavesmin yadgra sharama grisharama grisharama grisharama. How do you pronounce it, Prabhu? It's like Krishna and Ram at the same time. Sorry, Prabhu.
Grihashramaha.
Oh, Graha Sharama. Oh, yeah, Graha. It's slipping my tongue, Prabhu. I cannot pronounce it. Graha Sharama. Like Graha Sharaman.
Maybe you can divide it into two words, Prabhu. Griha Ashramaha.
Graha Ashrama.
Yeah, you can look at the synonym. So the last one, Griha Ashrama becomes Grihashramaha.
Oh, Graha Ashramaha. Like an ashram.
Yes, ashram. Griha means house.
Yes, yes. Bro. Oh, Graha house. And then Ashrama. Okay, the house. Okay. Synonyms: Pitri, forefathers; Deva, demigods; Rishi, sages; Martayanam, of humanity in general; Bhutanam, of the infinite living entities; Atmanaha, of oneself; Cha, also; Ha, certainly; Kshe, myam, beneficial; Vadanti, they say; Sharanam, shelter; Bhave, in the material world; Asmin, this; Yad, that which; Graha Ashramaha, householder life. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The woman continued, according to authorities, the householder life is pleasing not only to oneself but to all their forefathers, demigods, great sages, saintly persons, and everyone else. A householder life is thus beneficial. Can I reread, Prabhu? The woman continued, according to authorities, the householder life is pleasing not only to oneself but to all the forefathers, demigods, great sages, saintly persons, and everyone else. A householder life is thus beneficial. It's actually like a contradiction, Prabhu. Hey?
He's lying.
Sorry, Prabhu?
He's lying. This is
Oh,
a trap.
yes. Sir. The woman. Which woman, Prabhu? What's the name of the woman? I think I had.
Is this the intelligence?
Sorry, Prabhu.
Wasn't this the intelligence?
Oh, the intelligence. Oh, yeah. I think it is what we were naming.
Mr. Robot's allegorical.
Yes, bro.
Oh, yes. Sir. Okay. Purport. According to the Vedic systems, when one is born in this material world, he has many obligations. He has obligations to the demigods. Oh, yeah, this was the sloka that I wanted a long time ago. According to the Vedic systems, when one is born in this material world, he has many obligations. He has obligations to the demigods of the sun and moon, King Indra, Varuna, etc., because they are supplying the necessities of life. We receive heat, light, water, and all other natural amenities. Through the mercy of the demigods, we are also in debt to our forefathers who have given us these bodies, paternal property, intelligence, society, friendship, and love. Similarly, we are indebted to the general public for politics and sociology, and we are also in debt to lower animals such as horse, cows, asses, asses, dogs, and cats. In this way, as soon as one is born in this material world, as a human being, he has so many obligations and he is bound to repay all these obligations. If he does not repay them, he is further entangled in the process of birth and death. The Grahamedi, however, who is overly addicted to material things, does not know that if he simply takes shelter at the lotus feet of Mukunda, he is immediately freed from all obligations to others. Unfortunately, a Grahamedi does not have any interest in Krishna consciousness. Prahlad Maharaj says, Matir na Krishna para taha swato va mito vipadyeta graha Vratanam Bhagavatam 5.7.5.30. A Grahavarata is the same as a Grahamedi. Grahavarata is the same as a Grahamedi. One who takes sex life to be supreme finds action in Krishna consciousness confusing, either due to his own personal consideration or due to his having taken instructions from others or conferring it with them. He becomes addicted to sexual indulgence and cannot act in Krishna consciousness. Haribo.
Haribo. One more. 41.
Kanama Vira Vikayatam Vadanayam Priya Darshanam Vrinita Priyam Praptam. I don't know even the rhythm, Prabhu. Mad Rishi Twadrisham Patim. Yeah. Synonyms: Kahu, Nama, indeed. Vira, my dear hero. Vika Yatam, famous. Vadanyam, magnanimous. Priya Darshanam, beautiful. Na, not. Vranita, would accept. Priyam, easily. Praptam, gotten. Madrishi, like me. Twa Drisham, like you. Patim, husband. Translation by His Divine Grace. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Jai. Translation: Oh my dear hero, who in this world will not accept a husband like you? You are so famous, so magnanimous, it is sleeping now. Magnanimous, so beautiful and so easily gotten. Purport: every husband is certainly a great hero to his wife. In other words, if a woman loves a man, that man appears very beautiful and magnanimous. Unless one becomes beautiful in the eyes of another, one cannot dedicate his whole life into another. The husband is considered very magnanimous. Magni,
Magnanimous.
magnanimous. Because he gives as many children to the wife as she likes. Every woman is fond of children. Therefore, any husband who can please his wife by sex and give her children is considered very I know you said what? It's sleeping, this one, bro.
Magnanimous. Magnanimous.
I don't know what's happening today. It does not want, bro. Magnanimous. 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 Something like that, man. Yeah, but either way. By begetting children, but by giving his wife ornaments, nice food, and distresses, he keeps her completely under submission. Such a satisfied wife will never give up the company of her husband. Manu Samhita recommends that to keep a wife satisfied, a husband should give her some ornaments because women are generally fond of home ornaments, dresses, children, etc. In this way, the woman is the center of all material enjoyment. In this regard, the word vikayatam is very significant. A man is always famous for his aggression towards a beautiful woman, and such aggression is sometimes considered rape. Although rape is not legally allowed, it is a fact that a woman likes a man who is very expert at rape. I was just pinching that word must not appear again.
Haribol.
6 o'clock, Prabhu. Shikshastaka.
Okay, this is last one, bro.
Keep saying last, Prabhu. Until we read the whole Bhagavatam.
Oh, bro, this is last one.
Yes, Prabhu. Kasya manaste burvi bogi bogayo striya na sajed bujayo mahabujayo nata vargadim alam granodata smitava lokena charati apohitum. Synonyms kasyaha whose mana mind te yo bhuvi in this world bogi bogayo like the body of a serpent striya of a woman na not sajet becomes attracted bujayo by the arms mahabuja almighty arm there one who anata vargam O poor women like me adim distresses of the mind, alam able grana udata by aggressive mercy, smita ava lokena by attractive smiling, charati travels apo hitum to dissipate. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Almighty armed, who in this world will not be attracted by your arms, which are just like the bodies of serpents. Actually, you relieve the distress of husbandless women like us by your attractive smile and your aggressive mercy. We think that you are traveling on the surface of the earth just to benefit us only. Purport: when a husbandless woman is attacked by an aggressive man, she takes his action to be mercy. A woman is generally very much attracted by a man's long arms. A serpent's body is around and it becomes narrower and thinner. At the end, the beautiful arms of a man appear to a woman just like serpents, and they very much desire to be embraced by such arms. The woman, not the woman, the word anata varga is very significant in this verse. Nata means husband, and a means without a young woman who has no husband is called an anata, meaning one who is not protected. As soon as a woman attains the age of puberty, she immediately becomes very much agitated by sexual desire. It is therefore the duty of the father to get his daughter married. By not having a husband, anyone who satisfies her desire for sex at that age becomes a great object of satisfaction. It is a psychological fact that when a woman at the age of puberty meets a man and the man satisfies her sexually, she will love that man for the rest of her life, regardless who he is. Thus, so-called love within this material world is nothing but sexual satisfaction. Yeah, ne?
Yes, bro. Okay, thank you so much.
Haribo narada ubacha ititau.
Haribol. Now we will restart the reading session.
Oh my God, temerandasya. Semi Prabhu, I wanted to ask you, Prabhu, how many times do you do achaman in a day? Or how many times should one do according to the instructions?
Not sure how many times should one do. I just do when I offer something.
Or when you offer something? Because usually now I've started doing it when I'm offering, but then I saw it's like some people not offer it. Some people apply it before applying tilak. You see
Yes.
that long. Actually, there are two types. The one that I'm doing currently, it's the Om Keshavaya Namaha, Om Narayana Namaha, and Om Madhavaya Namaha. And then I saw there's the long one, Om Aniruddhaya Namaha, Om Pradumnya Namaha. It's like they do that one before applying tilak, but not, it's like they do it twice. I'm not sure. Something like that. So I'm not sure if it's the same Achaman or that one is a different one.
Yes, Prabhu. There is
And
longer.
I also saw it from His Grace Nimai Prabhu in one of his old videos. He was actually doing it. It's an 18 minutes video. It's like a morning routine, grahastha life morning routine.
Yes, Prabhu.
But can you please
That's
share
what
that video? Can you please share that video with all of us?
Yeah, can you send the
yeah.
link?
Oh, I was about to say you can go like now because usually when I minimize my Zoom, it
Yes,
exits automatically. I don't know why. So I was saying you can go since you are sharing the screen. I'll show you which one is it. You can just go to his account,
thank,
search
thank,
Nimani time, Prabhu. Oh, we
thank you.
should chant first.
Yes,
Yeah,
we'll
we
go
can
for
chant first.
that.
Okay. Shikshashtaka. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamaha davagninirvapanam shreya kaivachandrika vitaranam vidyavadu jivanam anandam burdi vardhanam pratipadam purnamrita svadanam sarvatmasnapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam.
नाम्नामकारि बहुधानि च सर्वशक्ति तत्रार्पितानि स्मरणेन कालाये तादृशी तव कृपा भगवन्ममापि दुर्दैवमिदृशं हैजनेनानुग्रहा
Trinarapi Sunichena Taro Api Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari.
न जनम न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीशकामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भगवद्भक्तरे द्युवित्वयि
Ainandatanuja Kinkaram Patitamam Vishame Bhavam Buddho Kripaya Davapada Pankaja Stitadoli Satrasham Vijintaya.
नयनं गलदाश्रुधारया वदनं गद्गदहृदया गिरा पुलके निचिन्तं वपु कदा तव नामग्रहणे भविष्यति
Yugaitam Nimishena Chakshusha Pravishaitam Shunyaitam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Virahename.
आश्लिष्यवापादरतं पिनश्रुमामदर्शनमर्महतं करोतु वा यथा तथा वा प्रविदात्तुलं पटो मत्प्राणनाथस्य स एव नापरः
Glories to the Shri Krishna Sankirtan. Glories to the Shri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the hearts of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benedictions to living beings and those you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have wasted all your transcendental energies. There are not even ardent pursuit for chanting these names, O my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by chanting your holy names. But I am so unfortunate that I have unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
O Almighty Lord, I have no desire. No. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your positive devotional service for the world.
O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal savior, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms of your lotus feet.
O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love, flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name?
O Govinda. Oh, Govinda, feeling your separation, I'm considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain. I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence.
I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly in his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. Jai Shri Shastakam ki Jai, Shri Chaitanya
Yeah,
Mahaprabhu ki Jai,
yeah.
Nitai Gaurav Premanand, Hari Hari Bol,
Haribo.
Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Prabhuji.
Jai, Jai.
Hare Krishna,
Bahu
Swami Prabhuji.
Janme Rishrava.
Yes.
Bahu Janmakari Yadi
Bhujan.
Shravana Kirtana. Oh, do you want to chant it, Prabhu?
No. Continue, bro.
Okay. Bahu Janmakari Yadi Shravana Kirtana Tabutana Paya Krishna Pade Premadan. If one is infested with the 10 offenses in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for many births, he will not get the love of Godhead. That is the ultimate goal of this chanting. The offenses against the chanting of the holy name are as follows. Sorry, Prabhu. You saying something?
No, Prabhu. No.
First offense to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord.
Second offense to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu.
Third offense is to disobey the orders of the spiritual master or thinking him as an ordinary person.
Fourth offense to blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in the pursuance of the Vedic version.
Fifth offense to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination.
Sixth offense to give the Buddha interpretations on the holy name of the Lord.
Seventh offense to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord.
Eighth offense to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna is to be one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda.
Ninth offense to instruct the faithless persons about the glories of the holy name.
Tenth offense to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions. This matter now. It is also an offense. It is also an offense to be inattentive chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must have guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success. Krishna Prema. I read a offer obeisance unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill all desires of everyone, just like desired trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen souls. Pancha kalpatarubhischa kripa sindhubhyo cha daitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Namo Namaha.
Thank you so much,
Ananta
Prabhu.
Vrinda ki jai, Namacharya Shri Haridas ki jai, Hare ki jai. Nitai Gaura Pramanandi Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Like
Magnanimous.
Gauranga Prabhu is when we asking some questions, so yeah, you can ask now, bro.
Yeah, Prabhu.
And the
Actually,
video.
in Sundar Gopal Prabhu's Q&A session, I actually forgot this. But I had a question. In last Ishtagoshti, I had heard that there are various avatars or incarnation of Sri Krishna. So, like, Narada is also an incarnation of Krishna, and Vyasadeva is also incarnation of Krishna, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also an incarnation of Krishna. So, like, these are various incarnations. I just said, for example. So, Karthi Prabhu had asked a question to, I think, Prahlad Prabhu that there are some are jivas empowered by Krishna and some means like I could not understand that. Are there like various avatars of Krishna, like Channa avatar I've heard one time, and then one time I've heard from Karthi Prabhu and in Instagoshti that there is a Purna avatar that is Krishna. So I couldn't understand. So Sami Prabhu, could you tell, or any Prabhu, please forgive me. Could you tell in brief, like what are the various avatars of Krishna, or are they all Krishna only? Like I could not understand that point. It was a doubt for some time. Hare Krishna. Dandat Pranam Jai Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhu.
Semi Prabhu. 1.3 Semi Prabhu. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam.
Should I read, Prabhu? Okay, or can you send the link? I think it is getting pretty late right now in India. Okay, Shaktya Vishwata. Can you send the link to me in personal chat, Prabhu? Sami Prabhu only, right? Yes.
Yes, bro.
Thank you, Prabhu. I had this doubt actually. So, like, is it Krishna Leela only that Narada is instructing Vyasadeva on Krishna? Like, is Krishna instructing Krishna on Krishna? I had this doubt. Am I correct?
Semi Prabhu, please send this link, Prabhu. I like the way they categorize it.
Yeah. Nice. Purusha Avatar, Leela Avatar, Guna Avatar, Manvantar Avatar, Yuga Avatar, Shaktiavesh Avatar. Thank you, Prabhu. I'll copy it.
Oh, Prabhu, I cannot open my chat. I don't know what's happening.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for this.
Semi Prabhu,
Yes.
can you send it in WhatsApp if you can?
So what was the thing?
We were about to search Nimai Nitai Prabhu's video, Grahasta Life. You know, the one that takes 18 minutes. And please don't forget to send this, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
So